dating in 2024 isn't just complicated. It's a whole new level of what are we even doing? And I've been single for 3 years. I have not been dating for 3 years. I went through a divorce that I'll probably go into in a different video, but it's not this one. And I spent the last, or the 2 years after, I spent that really digging into myself because it was my second divorce, and I didn't take the time to heal after the first one. And then I went into a relationship with so many wounds that I didn't know I had, so many things that I was still healing from. And so this time I was like, I'm going to take the time to heal. And I went into therapy. And it's changed my life. And I mean, this whole channel is a byproduct of that therapy. It's literally the first day I went to therapy rippled and has produced all of this and everything that will now come from it. And so first off, I want to say to anyone who has been brave enough to step into therapy and you've hit the end of your rope. You rock bottom came and went. You are 1,000 feet below bedrock. And you said, enough's enough. I'm going to start climbing because I can't be this anymore. I can't sit here anymore. And I just want to say, you are so brave. You are so strong. The battles that you have either gone through or are going through or will go through with people who are dear to you, who mean well, but say the wrong things or just don't get it. I want to say I'm proud of you. I love you. Thank you for doing this work. It's very hard work. And you are breaking brokenness. And you're saying this isn't going to happen anymore. I'm going to heal. I'm going to take the time to heal. And everyone's going to tell you to move on because they think that that's healing and it's not. You got to sit there and tend to your wounds. And they're going to think you're soaking in it. And you are for a bit. It's got to marinate. It's got to breathe. You're letting it breathe. Very much like a nice fine wine. It's got to breathe. And people want to pop that cork and just go straight to town and start drinking it. And you're saying, no, I want to get the best experience out of this. And the best experience means patience-ness. Patience-ness is not a word. Patience. That's the word. And maybe that's the problem that I'm finding with dating. I'll start with what I think is my fault. I'm not patient enough. I want to be in a relationship, so I want it now. But this is like kind of a culture that we live in. We live in a very microwave generation. And get me 30 seconds and this will be heated up. Get me a minute, we'll have some popcorn. A minute 01 and we'll have some burnt popcorn. Why is it so, like, the perfect line, this is completely for free, the perfect line between a perfectly popped bag of popcorn and a burnt bag of popcorn is like 1 second. And it's frustrating. Anyways, I digress. So I haven't been patient. I haven't embraced the natural timing of things. And maybe that's where we've gone wrong. So when I met my last wife, we met on Hinge. And I really liked Hinge because there were these prompts that encouraged deeper conversation. And I am a deep conversation mother. Is this the episode that I say it? No, probably not. Mofo. We'll say that. Because I love, don't give me surface. I want to talk about things that matter. I want to see your heart. That's the thing. I don't want to just talk about things that matter. I want to see your heart. I want to see what gets you passionate. I want to see the you. I've been in enough interviews and done enough, like, when I say interviews, I don't mean like job interviews, like video interviews. And I've done enough sit downs with people and seen them begin to answer questions and begin to talk about whatever topic. And they come in very analytical, very knowledge based. And there will be a moment, and it happens every single time. Every single time it happens. And I have only been able to label this moment as that's when they stopped talking and started talking. And there's a difference. When your heart engages, when you are passionate about something, you reveal yourself. And that's scary AF. Is this the episode, guys? Am I going to say, are we foreshadowing? Like, this is the one. Maybe. Ooh, stay tuned, because here comes. You start sharing you. And it's so scary to share you. Because I think we grew up in a town or in a house or in a community or a culture that has said we don't accept you. At its baseline value, I think that's what we believe. This world does not accept me. So I have to change me. And they accept that. So I have to be that. And that's bullshit. And it's just like, you don't have to change you. You need to become you. And becoming you is a journey that is so painful because you've abandoned you. And you have to sit with you and tell you that you've abandoned you. And you got to own that, because healing starts with ownership. What have you done? Yes, you were hurt. Yes, horrible things have happened. But what have you done? You have to sit with that. You have to sit with that. I had to sit with that with my journey and what I did in my marriages. I had to sit with the stuff that I did before my marriages that still showed up. Things that I thought I walked away from. Things that I thought would never come to light. You got to sit with the darkest corners of yourself. And that's scary. That is why I say, if you are doing this work, you are brave. And I care deeply about the person you are becoming. And I don't give a shit about the person you were. That person is dying. The person was dead. You're starting to live. And I think that's what gets me so riled up. That's what gets me so fired up about this stuff, because I know what that's like. Been there. I'm still there. I don't have my license to therapy yet, guys. I'm in school for it. I'm learning about this stuff. I'm 2 years, almost 3 years through my first quarter of therapy. I'm going to go to therapy for the rest of my life. Not because I'm broken. Because I don't want to break. There's a difference. Because I've broken before. And I thought I was healed. and I broke some more. And then I broke others around me. And I just refuse to do that anymore. I will go to therapy because it's not just good for me. It's not so I can be the better person. It's so that I can love the ones I love deeper and in a healthy way. And I don't manipulate and I don't try to control situations, because who I am uncontrolled is more loving, more caring than who I am when I try to be manipulative and control situations and try to prove to you that I love you. Can I just love you the way that I want to love you? Can that just be the case? And not try to figure out and analyze like how to make you feel the most love from me. It's exhausting. It's a lot of work for the wrong things when you can do a little work for the right things and see better results. And so we're in a state now where, because we believe we are not accepted and that we need to change, there's a double standard or I wish I had some glasses. They're lenses that we have now put on our face, that we are seeing through these lenses. And the lens says, if I'm unacceptable, so are you. So you need to change. And you need to, and we focus more on that because we see out, we don't see in. And we need to start taking time to look in, because you can't affect what's out until you've changed what's in. And so we project this. And there's a lot, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I want to talk about this episode. There's so many things that like I consider. Am I recording? I'm recording, okay. I just had to check. Had a moment of fear. There's so many things that are at play here. First off, let's start, because I've done a lot of research and a lot of reading and a lot of searching about attachment styles, because attachment styles changed my life. Hey, absolutely plugging this book. Go read this book. This book has given me insight to me, has given me insight to what I thought were relationships that were complete manipulation on my part. And it's genuinely opened my eyes. And I'm not going to say like, oh, I woke up or anything like that. It's just what you don't know, you don't know. This will help you know you. This book, let me just read. Okay. Here we go. This will help you. How can you tell if things have gone too far? If you're secure, but start to feel agitated, worried, or jealous, or if you find yourself thinking twice before expressing your feelings, or are becoming less trusting of, or starting to play games with your partner, it is a huge warning sign and very likely that you're with the wrong person, or that you've been through a difficult experience that has shaken the core of your secure foundation. It questions first because we're quick to end things. I'm sure when I got to that sentence part that said, you're with the wrong person, you stopped listening and was like, okay, I'm with the wrong person. And you missed the second part. And the second part says, or, which means don't change your situation. Don't break up with them. You've just been shaken. And what you were secure in is now not stable. So then how do you stabilize? I'm telling you, this book, it teaches you that stuff. It teaches you, and it teaches you your attachment style, and it teaches you how to become more secure. Because your attachment style is not the end all be all. It is not like solidified. It is, you got to melt it. It's hard as a rock. You got to melt it to change it. And this will teach you how to do that. So plug in this book, Attached. And yeah, there it is. Pause the screen, do whatever you need to do. Go buy this book. For my future content and foreshadowing everything that is to come, I'm about to read this book. And I haven't read it yet, so I can't tell you anything about it, other than the fact that it's Brené Brown, and I freaking love Brené Brown. Or you might say Brené Brown. I think it's Brené Brown. But it's up to you. So that's what's coming in 2025. Stay tuned. Find out next time. Like I'm ending the episode, but I'm not, because we're just now getting started. In fact, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about, which was this. Because we've been in the lens of you need to change and not the lens of I need to change, we have projected out our insecurity, our fears, our unstableness, honestly. And it's like, it starts with this idea, not even an idea. It's this dynamic that has played out already. So way, way, way back, time travel with me for a bit. Way back in, not that far, just like the 1920s. Okay? So the 1920s, parenting styles were very much, do not coddle your kids. Don't tell them you love them. Don't hug them too much. Don't kiss them too much. You're making them weak. That is what society was telling itself. So be strong. Strong means to stonewall. Stonewall your kids. Don't emotionally attach to your kids. And you'll create strong people. Yes. And oh no. Now Timmy's over there and he unalived that thing and doesn't feel remorse. Uh-oh. Where'd that come from? Maybe it's the fact that Timmy hasn't felt love yet. Or wasn't told that he was loved or accepted. And speculation on my part, guys. I'm allowed to say things like this. I'm learning. I'm gonna use that disclaimer for as long as I possibly can. So now we have a new dynamic where a human being who has been cut off from emotions and cut off from love and cut off from understanding what empathy is and connection is. So now we have psychopaths. And it's like, we said, oh, okay, hold up, guys. Maybe we need to start hugging these kids. Maybe we need to start telling them that we love them, that we believe in them, that we're here for them, and maybe we model what a emotional connection should be. So they changed it. But in 2024, in the sense of relationships, the big bad title, the huge theme of right now is hyper-independence. Don't get attached to your spouse. Don't get attached to your partner. Don't get attached to your boyfriend, to your girlfriend, to your whatever. Don't get attached. If you depend on them, you are weak. Do not coddle them. Don't tell them you love them. Don't tell them you need them. And it's the same dynamic. And I think in 2024, we are seeing the first signs of relational psychopaths. So what do we do about it? Well, we got to change. We have to change. You can't expect them to change. You can only control you and your reaction to things. So in hearing this, how are you going to react? Because we can take the stance of, well, this is how it is, so this is how it will be. We lean into it. This is how it will always be. And then we just blame society, we blame culture, blame family members before us, our ancestors, whatever. Or we say, that stops here. And I will not be this. And you're going to have to go through battles. You're going to have to go through the people, because it's going to be rejected. So okay, get used to rejection, guys. Tell you what, I have, in my experiences, built up a resilience to rejection. And it doesn't really, it still hurts. Let's be clear here. It still hurts. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go through it. And I know I'm going to go through it. My expectations have changed because I expected to not be rejected. When you expect rejection, and I don't want to get too cynical here. Like, I don't want to, because I have a self-saboteur whose name is Victim, and he'll show up real fast and say like, oh, you will be rejected and blah, blah, blah. And he'll victimize me real fast. I don't want to victimize me, but I do want to say when you expect it versus when it's unexpected. It is, okay, we'll just use information for an example. If you're expecting bad news and then you hear the bad news, your expectations might be a little bit more than what is being told to you. So then when it hits, you're like, oh, well, that's not really that bad. Okay. You take a shot from a doctor. Doctor tells you, hey, the shot's really going to hurt, prepares you for it, gives you a shot. You're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. I could take some pain. If the doctor says, hey, you're not going to feel this, stabs you with a needle, be like, hey, you're a moron who doesn't know what pain is, because that really hurt. And you weren't expecting it. And so same thing with rejection. If you're prepared for it, then when it shows up, it's not that bad, because you were prepared for worse. And it's honestly, rejection's not this big bad villain. It's barely a goon. And so it's just a part of life. And I had to accept that, because I still have a big fear of rejection. Still deal with it. But I am a recovering anxious attacher who is learning that my anticipations can turn into like over analyzing things, and then I'm manipulating before things even become a situation. And that's not me. That's this false identity. And so we start with us. We start with how do we change? You're going to have to tell people you actually care about them and that you need them. You're going to have to tell someone that you are dependent on a level of intimacy, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. There is a dependency in a normal relationship. Now, be careful, because a codependency is unhealthy. And I, for the longest time, believed that a healthy relationship is a codependent relationship. because I didn't understand that dependency is a spectrum. There are levels of dependency. And there's this thing called self-differentiation. And we need to self-differentiate, because where I begin is not where you begin. And where I end is not where you end. And so I need to find out what is me and what is you. And then I choose you and you choose me. And it is a beautiful life when that happens, because I'm not trying to become you and I'm not trying to get you to become me. And I don't know if we can hear that yet, honestly. I don't know if we hear those words and we realize what they are. I think we're a society right now that is very much wanting to say we understand, we see you, we hear you, we're for you. And again, I don't think that that's completely accurate. I think that that's another level of us projecting. I feel unseen, I feel unheard. So I'm going to hear and I'm going to see the things that I wanted to be seen for in you. Again, guys, these are micro manipulations, and they will add up. And we will see it. We will see it happen. And I'm honestly scared if it doesn't change. We are about to step into 2025. If the dating world in 2025 doesn't change, I don't know. I mean, obviously in 2025, we won't fall to our detriment or whatever. It won't kill us all. But if it continues, the trajectory of this, guys, is so bad. It's a society that's so cold, that's so dangerous. It's not safe. And so we have to learn, get the knowledge first, understand yourself first, understand why you are behaving the way you are, whether you are avoidant, anxious, or secure. Because ultimately, we're all trying to figure out how to be secure. So if you are secure, it's okay to do a little preparation, look into the other sides of things, and see when those start to show up. Because like we said, your attachment style is solid, but it can be melted and it can be changed, which means that if you are secure, it can be shaken enough that you become either avoidant or anxious. So there's this weird idea that when you're healed and you'll never be unhealed. And that's just not true. So when you're healed, it's actually a healthy thing to still go to therapy, still be preparing for the times and the seasons that will send you outside of your window of tolerance. And now you are dysregulated. And so knowing the map, knowing the path to come back is just as important. So the dating world in 2024, to dive more into this is going to be a long episode, I can tell already. I put my audio interface in a position where I can't even see the time, so I don't even know how long we're going to go. Anyways, I was talking about Hinge earlier. Let's go back to that. Because what I have discovered in 2024, and this is from my perspective and my opinion, because we embraced dating apps, guys. We're the millennials. We did it. We embraced the dating apps. Yay. Okay, cool. Now we're not showing up on our dating apps. We are fake people on our dating apps. We're not responding on our dating apps. We're not sharing who we are. We are putting out who we want to be with. And then we are swiping. Oh, guys, we are swiping. And in fact, I don't even think that we're swiping on the people we like now. I think we're at the point where we're just like, yes, 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 yes. Whatever my matches are, I'll go through those. That's not how this was supposed to be. So then now we have our dating apps, which are more like your social apps and less like searching for your romantic relationship. I believe that you are supposed to care for one other person deeply, and that person's supposed to care for you deeply. And you're supposed to choose each other and walk through this life together and build something that is just immaculate. And I'm not saying grandiose. I'm not saying it's this major, massive mansion. Maybe the beautiful picture is a single bedroom apartment. It's a little broken down, but the love that fills that place is so pure that they might as well be in a mansion. Because they have no worries. They have no cares in the world. They got bills, but it doesn't affect their love. Now, how do you get that? You got to accept some hard things. You got to accept some hard truths. That bills don't define you. Money doesn't define you. Your situations don't define you. That's the self-differentiation that I'm talking about. I am not my bank account. I am not my social media. I am not my relationship. I'm not my job. I'm not my house. I'm not my car. These material things, they don't define me. The only thing that defines me is me. Not what you think about me, not what you say about me, not what you've seen about me. This is a hard one, guys. It's not easy to get there. It's worth it to get there. And the fruit that comes from this, it unlocks cheat codes for you. You're unaffected. You're genuinely. There was a TikTok. Okay, so there's TikTok sound. There's a song. I forget the name of the artist, but it's like an unreleased song. But it says the words like, I'm not there for you. I don't feel a thing. I'm not there for you. I don't know your name. And it's like, it's really catchy and I really like it a lot. It's nice. But someone was using that and I would have just blown past it because there's a lot of people that use this sound. I would have just blown past it. But their comment on it was unbothered. And when they're singing, like they are full body into it, very passionate about it. I'm like, you're bothered. You're bothered. You say you're unbothered, but you're bothered. And so there's this mindset right now of I'm unbothered by it. And it's not a real unbotherment. It's you are bothered. It lives rent free in your brain. And the picture that I painted about the couple in the single bedroom apartment, those are truly unbothered people. And it's a beautiful thing to get to when it's genuine. When it's not genuine, you can smell it out. We know fake like nothing else because we've projected fake like nothing else. You can't fool a fooler. when you know the tricks, when you know what gets the clicks and the likes and the subscriptions, it's just, you know it. You know what's authentic and you know what's not. And I think that right now in the dating world, we are unauthentic. We are afraid to be authentic because we're afraid to show up. And I think it goes back to that first lie that we believe, that we are unacceptable. Who I am is unaccepted. And so we got to learn that we are accepted. And you got to go on that journey for yourself. And you got to think, what do I need in this life? What do I need in this situation where I am right now to feel accepted? How do I feel accepted? Not like ambition and goal, but what makes me feel accepted. And then start doing those things for you, because you're going to have to accept you before anyone else can. You won't have the capacity to accept their acceptance until you can accept you. And this one's a rough one, guys. I'm not beating up on you. And I'm saying these things because I love you. And you might sit there and go, you don't know me. I don't think I have to know you to love you. Honestly, I think I could see you out there in the world. I see enough of you guys. I think that we are very connected this day and age because of social media. We see a lot. And so I'm hoping that you guys show up. And I'm hoping that I can start to see a shift, because the way I dated in 2024, I'm not going to date in 2025 like that. I want to find genuine, authentic people. And because I've been so impatient and I've said, I want a relationship and I want a relationship and I want a relationship, maybe it starts with friendships. So maybe in 2025, I'm not looking for a relationship. Maybe in 2025, I'm looking for a friendship and find someone who can truly become my friend, that I can truly care about. And we spend time together and we learn more and more about each other. There are people that I've dated in 2024 that I miss. And it's like, I don't miss them in a way like I want them back. And I don't miss them in a way that's like, oh, let's try again. I miss getting to know them. I miss the friendship. I miss their perspective on things. I miss the things that they used to say that would make me laugh. And I miss the spending time together. You know? And I think that because our lenses that we are looking through, guys, I think that they are affecting us, and we're missing out on some really good nutrients. Because I went out with some really good people in 2024. Didn't have a lot of dates, but the ones that I did go out with, they were good people. And I genuinely liked them. But then we went through a relationship and things got weird, and I felt, oh, this isn't going to work out. So then we dropped them completely? I don't know. Maybe we normalize being friends and having friendships. Maybe we normalize that. And this idea of there's too much history between us, we can't be friends, feels a lot. We submit this. Feels a lot like you're avoiding something. To go through this life, and because you kind of have to lean into not acknowledging their existence. But we're existing on the same planet at the same time. And to pretend like we're not, that we never met, that I never knew your name, I don't feel a thing. That's not unbothered. So then, what does it look like? Because I can't think of many examples where two people started off their friendships, went into romantic ships, and then still became friends afterwards. And I'm not saying best friends. I'm not saying you're people, but be friendly. It doesn't take much to be friendly. Be like, yeah, we gave it a whirl. We found out we're not great together. But I still like who you are. And I'm still in your corner. And I'm still rooting for you in life. What does that look like? Can you think of something? Can you think of a situation like that? And I don't like how long we have to try to think before we find one. I think, guys, that there's this other side to romance that we don't understand yet, that we haven't found yet as a society. And in the same way that I said, we cannot accept acceptance from anyone else until we accept ourselves, I don't think we'll see it in our society until we become a society that accepts. So what does a healthy breakup look like? What does a healthy after relationship look like? These are questions that I don't have the answers to, but I'm willing to search for them. And so it's going to take some changes. It's going to take looking into ourselves. And I'm willing to do that work. I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to have some uncomfortable moments with people that I care deeply about while I search for what a healthy after relationship looks like. In hopes that you don't have to cut off people after you've gotten to love them and found out that they aren't the ones that will always be with you. To find love for the ones that were with you for a season and find a way to be friendly and move forward. Maybe not together, maybe separate paths, but to still root for them, to still want the best for them, and for them to want the best for you. It's kind of the world I want to live in. So, until next time, I will and always be emotionally yours.